Okay. I think I want to record really quick because this energy is coming into me so fast that it's kind of hard to text it. I feel like I had an aha moment to an extent where it's a reflective energy. And that's the energy of God being a woman. And it's like I've been feeling that energy and I've been actually noticing it more in energy as to how I say I go to church and they're speaking the word of me, but they referencing it in a God form and it being a man. This is like, but you're talking about me. That's me. That's a woman, you know. And I got energy about that before. But within this energy of an aspect, I have to go back to the beginning as into getting cast out. And it's making me think about what people think of the woman being a god if was the cast out child. You know, they would look at the child as the god for standing ground. And it's taking me to a competition form, which that's why I said I'm able to resonate with it, because growing up I always was told my mom was jealous of me, which I never could understand. That it's like you want your child to be better than you. You know, you don't, you know, you're supposed to evolve, you know. And for my personal self, I can see that within my own structure or foundation for the way I started. Um, even though his platforms, he thrives more than I do, but I don't look at it as a competition. But other people do have competition within their own family structure. And that is something I'm thinking about as into it comes off as into almost how the tables have turned, but they haven't turned. Because if you're looking at the one that got cast out like the God, how can I explain that, Jesus? You have to pardon me because it's like it's all still new to me. It's just feels me to project it out in this form of a way. I can go within my day in circle where betrayal seemed to be handy, because it's like we're one. It's like a dog chasing his tail, the separation, because we're one. And pick up each aspect where somebody thought they was thriving over me. I can circle it because like we're one, if that makes sense. And I've been doing that lately, and it's been intriguing me. Like it's almost like picking up crumbs. Like, what are you doing? I can always find you. You know, but we're not growing because we're circling each other because we think we're in competition with each other. It's intriguing to me. What else did I want to say on that aspect? Something else other than that part. That part seemed to be really important of the mother and the child. Because the way I'm getting this energy today is coming off like two kids, which keep taking me back to the Rebecca and Isaiah having two kids and how they reflect those parents. You know, one of them, you know, if you're a good person, you know, I use this as an example. I don't know what my leg's like. I'm gonna come down this way. I wanted my leg up. It just looked intriguing on the camera, but it's comfortable to me. But I say I'm a pastor, you know, and you got two children. One's gonna reflect you in that same aspect. They might even want to follow the same path as you, but the other one, you know, may want to do something totally different. Some people are not okay with that, and they push them to the side. You know, it's that energy of not doing that. It's a reflecting of something that is supposed to evolve something. And figuring out how to explain that. I can explain it. That's the energy is coming in. This is coming off as these are children that in the beginning, that creation, that light and darkness is kids, but how they reflect in you. Like my first child, darkness, but I can recognize you. I can use darkness, but I can recognize you. It's still goodness in it. You just have to, as I texted and tweeted about, you have to look farther in. It's not easy to see. But some people wouldn't even take the chance to figure that part out. It's just, I can't. they say it's like a demon aspect, 'cause it's not actually mirroring you, but it's like you created something totally new. It's not supposed to be fully you, if that makes sense. Your ingredient got added to another ingredient and created something totally new. So it's technically not supposed to reflect you totally. But the ones that do, you know, lovely for you for that lesson, you know, but it's normally not supposed to be that way. Which I already know my next one is going to be that. It's going to be literally me, a light aspect, you know, love God and learning and sharing and preaching and things like that. Which I'm not saying I'm a preacher. I don't operate in that aspect, but I do share the good news, a reminder of eternal life. What else is there, Lord? Like, I'm just stuck on that energy of that. Because I do talk about the garden, and they speak of Adam and Eve like in a pair aspect, like already a couple. It could have been that, but that's not the way it's coming at me at the moment. It's coming as a child. And I'm not following the way you want. They want to go a different way. And then that child being glorified in a not accurate way. Like, God is always God, mommy is always mommy, and you always the child. This energy is beautiful to me. I can see where the confusion comes at. I mean, I'm just using myself as an example outside of the energy. It's just I feel like adults in this energy like to be dominant over their kids. I think that's the problem, and not wanting to see them grow or have their own mind. And they're supposed to. And I say they're supposed to because everything is a comeback energy. That's why, to an extent, I need the energy before the Bible. Honestly, when people start keeping notes, because you know, to have the Bible, you had to keep notes. Before that, you know, before they was able to keep notes, things were already happening. But it don't take away that God is a woman. You have to have that aspect. I think that's what I'm stuck on at the moment, is that energy, because it's just, I feel like a light bulb in my head, because I lived that situation where my child is quite disobedient, honestly, and I still have to remain mommy and not outcast. But over time, I say we're learning to come together in a beautiful way, honestly. Definitely when I allow him to do his own thing and I don't force it on him. But for me, I feel like that's naturally how it's supposed to go. It took me a minute, honestly, but I do honestly feel that's the way it's supposed to go. I don't know if it's just because it's a guy, he's a guy. I feel there's nothing he shouldn't be able to do or say, if that makes sense. And that don't take away from a female being able to do that. It's just my experience on this energy that I'm feeling that is coming to me. The spirit is trying to get through. Right, I feel like there's nothing else at the moment. I just needed to project that energy. Is wanting to come back together. I talked about this a while ago, actually. I wonder if I can find it. I might find it today. But coming back together, realizing that was a mistake to do that. Look how many generations it has been of that type of separation. There's more people say that's Lucifer when they come to the kids, which even in that aspect, they identify them as guys. Like two sons. You know, one the good one, the other one, you know. I don't know if I keep doing it. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I kind of do because I live it. But bringing it back together, realizing that's not the way to go. And a lot of people have a lot of trouble within their family structure, the way they grow up in. That's the main highlighting of the energy, is the roots that you grow up in, and the confusion and chaos that be in it. It's healing that's happening within that energy. coming off not in an outcasting form. There's something you have to learn within it. Even with me saying that, the way I'm saying it, I'm sure it's something that you're suppressing. When I say they're not reflecting you, you know, if you're a pastor, you know, you do all this, or you're a doctor, I don't know. You feel like you're a goody two-shoe, and your child is the total opposite, you know. It probably really is something that's in you that you learn to suppress, or it's a generational energy coming back to teach you something. One of the two. And that's the energy that's being healed. There's some people I can feel some people saying, if it's the generational energy coming back, I still don't want it, you know. That's where the healing has to come in at. It's an acceptance aspect. That's what Spirit is bringing to me. You have to learn to accept something. Because the next lifetime, you may be that aspect. Or you was. Oh, my leg hurt that way. I'm on a little chair. I probably got a little indentation on my leg. I do. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to stay focused. It's just a lot of energy coming. A lot of it. A lot of communication right now. But I summed it up pretty much. Healing, 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 healing of a separation and acceptance aspect is needed and is happening.